Hello, buddy, and welcome back to the Up the Guts podcast. Joining as always is your host, Trent the Ultimate. Some of you might know me as Tricky, and yes, it is the preview episode where we preview every round, give our tips and predictions. Round 15 is just upon us. I'm recording this as of Wednesday night. Wasn't able to record it Tuesday as I had some other things to do, so it'll be a little bit of a delayed upload than what you would probably normally do. Normally, I'd have it out Wednesday, which is today as I'm recording it, on at 5 p.m, but we're probably looking at more of that 7:30 p.m. tonight, so I do apologize for that, but there will be out, so we'll be looking at, obviously, giving our tips and predictions for every round. Make sure I load up the ESPN Footy Tips Footy Tips app, so I can make sure I submit it, because we know, as I always mention, that 1 week, and I hate to say it, but I think it might have cost me, I think it might have cost me. Just a thought, but, yeah, we'll go over tips predictions, but first, as we always do, by starting with the episode, we're going to go and have a look at how the Up the Guts tipping competition is sitting at the moment. And if you haven't already gone and seen the review of round 14, that was posted on Monday, make sure you go and have a listen or watch to that, and share it off to a friend as well. But without further ado, let's get on to how the Up the Guts tipping competition is looking at the moment. Now, I had a very good week last week. I got 6 out of 7, so that's just my personal thing. But let's go over the ladder positions. As I mentioned on YouTube, the ladder positions will also be placed here as well for you to view. But we have a new leader on top, and it is Dalla on top of the league. He's sitting at 87 points. Don't have my headphones with me, otherwise I would possibly call him. But that's the one thing. At the end of the tipping competition Supercoach, we will do a little bit of content over whether it is I'll go and meet them to give them their money, or I'll give them a phone call, vice versa. But Della has overtaken the lead on 87 points, overtaking my dad, Glenn. They're both on 87, but let's have a look at the margin. His margin is 279 total, where Glenn's is 304. So Glenn moves down to second. Corey stays in third. Wendy jumps up to fourth on 84 after 6. Chris stays in fifth. Dos Miller moves up to 6 on the ladder on 84. Hodgie drops down to 7th. Zach stays in 8th. Elaine stays in 9th. Logan stays in 10th. I've jumped. Oh, no, sorry. I haven't jumped. Jeez, got to be excited. I stay in 11th on 81. JD Hawks fan in 12th. Big Pistol stays in 13th. Will stays in 14th. Connor stays in 15th. Tommy Sins stays in 16th. And Basti stays in 7th. So not much movement. Only movement we have is Dalla jumping up from second to first. Glenn jumping from first to second. And Dos Miller jumping from... Wendy jumping from... where's she jumped from? She's jumped from, by the looks of it... She's jumped from 6th to 4th. That's my mother. She's jumped from 6th for 4th, and Hodgie's gone from, by looks of it, 4th to 7th, and Dos Miller's gone from 7th to 6th, sorry. So there's how it's looking, but without further ado, let's get into tipping the round 15 action as we go. Let's get into it. All right, round 15 action. We start off on Thursday night, and oh my God. If I get it, it's in Perth. But why are we having Thursday night games at 8:10 p.m.? Now, it's a running group chat. Running joke in my group chat that I don't stay awake for Thursday night, let alone Friday night games. I'm going to be lucky to get through to quarter time here. 8:10 p.m. to start. Connor and Will understand exactly what I mean, that I'll be very, very in struggle street to make it through to quarter time. I struggle to make it through halftime as it is on a Thursday night normal game. But it is Fremantle v Essendon at Optus Stadium, 8:10 p.m. Obviously, the Dockers going with the 2 ruckmen now. Worked last week. Be interesting to see if they work this week. Essendon are debuting a new player, Vijo Visentini, the brother of Dante Visentini from Port Adelaide. That is their 11th debutant this season, and the record actually in the AFL ever is 13th, and that was by Fitzroy. So I'd love to see if Brad Scott does break that, if he goes down that path, because they have got all the injuries and that. And I think purely because of their injuries, Fremantle will just get it done pretty comfortably at home. I think the likes of Sarong and Brayshaw will be too much from the handle in the midfield. Bolton is really finding his own, and Jackson's just a formidable force. Tracy started off the season on fire, but he's been a bit quiet. Is this a game that he can go off the leash with the depleted key defensive backline stock that the Bombers currently have at their disposal? So I'm going to be going with Freo, and I get to choose a margin. I'm going to go Freo by... Sorry, Essendon supporters in particular, Con. I'm going to go Freo at 40 points. Saturday night, we have Geelong v Brisbane Lions at GMHBA Stadium. It is second v third, and it is Paddy Dangerfield's 350th game. What a career Paddy Dangerfield has had at Adelaide and Geelong. First season at Geelong, won at Brownlow. I've got a feeling he's got, if I go back here, what I want to say, he's got like 7 All-Australians. It's something ridiculous like that if we go down here. All-Australian. 8. Oh, there you go. 8 All-Australians. He was All-Australian 2012, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and in 2020 he was captain. He's a 3-time Geelong his name given best. Yeah, he's a 3-time Geelong BNF. Obviously, 2026 Brownlow medalist. He's a captain, premiership player, champion player, AFL Coaches Open champion player, 2016 Lee Matthews Trophy, which I believe is the MVP for the Players Association. And alongside many things. So it's been a great career, Paddy Dangerfield, but let's not sleep on also Tyson Stengel's 100th game. And what a change over career Tyson Stengel had. Started at Richmond, struggled, went over to Adelaide with showing some really good signs, then had that issue that I don't need to go into detail about what really happened there. But then Geelong, he was all but done. He was done. He was by his footy career. Geelong decided to have a punt on him, and it worked dividends. All-Australian in a premiership year, in his first year under the Cats. He's just been really good. I always thought he had the talent when he was at the Crows, but it's good to see him paying back the faith that the Cats have shown in him. But being at GMHBA Stadium, 7:40 p.m, Brisbane Lions. Geez, that was a game they didn't want to. That was a game that they really didn't want to drop. Last week we go down here, really good game. Only going down to 11 points, but they dropped the game at home. You can't be dropping games at home. I've mentioned they've been just going, and now Jack Payne goes down, so they had to push Eric Hipwood to the key defense. That's not ideal. So I'm going to be going with the Cats to get this one done. Then we go over to Saturday, MCG, first game at 1:20 p.m, and we have Carlton, who are sitting 10th on the ladder, up against North Melbourne, who are sitting 16th on the ladder. North Melbourne obviously fresh off a 6-point loss, and Carlton fresh off a win over West Coast by 34 points, but wasn't necessarily convincing. We're still waiting on an update on Charlie Curnow. There was an issue. Matt Cottrell is done for the season now. Yeah, so lots of stuff going on in Carlton. They've just been really disappointing this season. But ball means it's a type of game Carlton do lose, but I don't think they will. So I'm going to go with Carlton to get this one done. Now, Port Adelaide v Sydney, 4:15 p.m. the Adelaide Oval, and I think Port's really found some form. Jason Horne-Francis came back and welcomed himself back in very comfortably. We saw Rosie playing half-back, but also put himself in the midfield late in the game when the game was on the line, which was really good to see. Zach Butters does what Zach Butters does. Miles Bergman's been a revelation this year, having a really good season. But I'm pretty sure Errol Goulden isn't far off. So it'd be good to see if Sydney Swans get it. But I'm just going to quickly search up Errol Goulden. Yeah, so Goulden and Papley are both tests to play this week. So that would be really good in so they can get that Tom Papley in the forward line to apply that pressure. You can run through the midfield as well. But Errol Goulden's class on the outside for them. But I do think Port Adelaide get this done, and I'm going to be saying they get this done by about 4 goals plus. Then Saturday night, we go over to Marvel Stadium, but it's a Collingwood home game up against the Saints. Collingwood fresh off the bye. Saints have been up and down, but by all means, disappointing season so far. They've had the wood over Collingwood when last season when they came out and did some great stuff early in the season against them at Marvel. Obviously, Marvel not a regular spot there for the Pies. I myself, if you haven't already, go back and watch the vlog. It's just a little cheeky plug there. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you like. I went to the Collingwood Marvel. Was that even our home game? I went and vlogged Collingwood v Western Bulldogs. It wasn't even our home game, but so it's irrelevant. I don't know why I mentioned that. Awkward. But no, just going to close the laptop screen a little bit. So not a regular side. We don't see Collingwood travel. That's a lot of the joke as the AFL goes on. They get gifted, Collingwood get gifted games. I just clicked submit tips by mistake and I wasn't even done. But St Kilda been disappointing. Desai Wanganeen Malira, obviously one of the star players. Collingwood will be interesting to see. They've been in the news lately. Ryan Daniels reporting that they're very confident that they can get Ben King next year. They might be in the discussion for Matt Rao yet. Yes, they might be in discussion for Matt Rao yet. But just everything going right, I think, at Collingwood, and I think they get this job done for the Saturday night standalone game between the Saints. Then we go over to Sunday, and we got just the 2 games on the Sunday, and thank you, AFL. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a pat on the back as well. We don't have to wait till 3:20 p.m. this week. 1:10 p.m. at NG Stadium, and what a game this sets out to be. The Giants v the Gold Coast Suns. The Giants been up and down this year, but fresh on a big win against Brisbane at the Gabba. And the Gold Coast Suns are one of the more exciting teams this season. Are they falling late? We'll have to wait and see. But it's the 2 expansion clubs. Don't like each other. Obviously, being the expansion clubs, both teams are their social media teams are elite. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of content going around with that as well. And it's a toss of the coin between this game. Finn Callaghan being back into that GWS side just shows how valuable he is to that side, especially this season. Why St Kilda threw him that money. Because as soon as he got back in it seemed like the GWS midfield and ball movement just changed with his running capacity, his power, his drive, with his penetrating kick, was just so phenomenal. And what it also allowed Tom Green to be Tom Green. It allowed Tom Green to be that inside bull, not have to be an inside and outside player. He grabbed his 26 possessions, 25 possessions, but 10 clearances as well. Give it out to the likes of the running Finn Callaghan. So I think Finn Callaghan is such a great asset to have in there. And I'm going to be backing in the Giants for this game to get this done. Obviously, backed them for the Flags, so I'm going to back them this week. And I know I made this big post about him, but if they win this game, I'm back on them. Because I want to see them. I want to see them back it up. I mentioned that. That's all I want to see. We see them win really. We see them win really good games, and they drop a disappointing game like Fremantle at their home. So who have they got round 16? So am I bold enough to say if they win this, I'm back on them? Let's have a look. Where are the Giants? So they've got the bye, round 17. No, if they win this, I'm back on them. But geez, round 17, the way Giants are going, they'll drop that to West Coast Eagles at Optus. But I'm going to be going with the Giants for this one. And the last game of the round, the buys this week are Adelaide, Hawthorn, Melbourne, and West Coast. And the last game of the round at Marvel Stadium, it is the Bulldogs and the Tigers. And let's not beat around the bush. The Bulldogs just get this one done. Sam Darcy coming back in the side just shows how much of an asset he is to the team, how destructive he is as a player just at such a young age. We're going to be watching this for 10 plus years, and it's such a thrill to know that we're going to watch such a dominant force in that forward line for so long, be able to dominate just like that. So the Bulldogs get this done. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Marcus Bontempelli, or do they take Ed Richards? Yeah, if we go across the champion dart and we have a look at all that, Ed Richards is the number 1 ranked midfielder in the competition, number 1 ranked player in the competition, and it's not even close. The things that he is doing, we haven't seen since who was it I was listening to? We haven't seen since one of Dusty's seasons. And it might have been, it was Dusty and Gary Ablett's seasons. I think it was Gary Ablett's 2009 season and then Dusty's Brownlow season. We haven't seen someone this dominant since then. So and what it is about him, he hits the scoreboard. He impacts the scoreboard and he gets meters gained. He does it on the inside and he does it on the outside. We haven't seen someone win this much amount of ball but use it this well for a very long time for that midfield. So Ed Richards has been a great move since second half of last year when Luke Beveridge put him in the midfield, and now he's one of the stars of the competition. So I'm going to be backing the Bulldogs to win this one. There you have it, guys. There are my tips. Let's quickly go over it. Thursday night, I'm going Port Adelaide by 40 points. Friday night, I'm going Geelong. Saturday, 1:20 p.m., I'm going to go the Blues. Saturday twilight, I'm going to go Port Adelaide. Saturday night, I'm going to go the Pies. Sunday, afternoon, GWS, and then Sunday going into the evening, I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Up the Guts podcast, with this being the preview episode coming up to round 15. If you have enjoyed this episode and you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video, turn the notification bell on so you don't miss an upload, and hit that subscribe button. And yes, guys, we have hit that 200 subscribers that I have been promoting, that I want to hit. So I'd like to say a big thank you to you and congratulations to you guys, the community, for getting us to 200 subscribers. Let's try and hit... onwards and upwards from here. Let's see if we can hit 300 even by the end of the year. That would be such a great goal for me. But thank you guys for subscribing and getting me to that 200 subscribers margin. 200 subscribers milestone, should saying. I really do appreciate it. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to leave a like and comment on the video. Turn the notification bell on so you don't miss an upload. Hit that follow button. Share it off to a mate. And most importantly, please, guys, leave a 5-star rating, as that does help push the show out there to new listeners. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys then.